Morning guys, here we are, harvest day 2. We are getting some fuel and some def. I'm gonna check over some sections in the cutter bar on the combine and clean the windows. They got really dirty yesterday. Yesterday we got about half the acres cut on this farm. We are actually going to leave here and go to our furthest away farm for some logistical reasons. We haul them right to a grain elevator that's 6 miles away, and we need them to be open. We got some extra help, extra truck drivers, and we only have 2.5 days before the next rain. So for logistical reasons, we're gonna go get the furthest away stuff and then come back, finish this, and hopefully get moved back home before the rain. I already went through and checked all of our knives and guards. So this is the knife, this is the guard. It's basically like a pair of scissors all the way across the front of the head. So if either a guard or a knife breaks, it really changes the way it cuts. Got fuel running, knives are all good. Now it's time for my least favorite job, cleaning windows. All right, windows are clean. Next order of business, stock the fridge. Gonna set the head off here on the trailer so that we can get moved to that other farm. And we're on the move. About an hour-and-a-half drive from the farm we were at to this one. This is our furthest away stuff, and like I said before, logistically it just makes sense for us to come up here today, get this knocked out while the grain elevator's open and that kind of stuff. So we got about 30 minutes left and we'll be there. Letting the traffic go by. We do our best to get over, let people around. We know the machines are big. We don't want to take up any more of the road.
Clear behind me.
We have to, so we try and pull over every few miles or so and let people around. I just realized I had some sort of setting was different on the camera, so if those last few clips are weird or different, I apologize. Should be back to normal now. Well, it's been a couple hours.
Here I come. I'm back already. I'm like lightning. Thunder.
We got lots of truck drivers working today. They're hauling to the grain elevator 6 miles away from here.
Take that full truck.
And so we can basically talk to them the whole way.
I don't want the lady to dump into that dumpster.
And of course, when I turn the camera on, they start yapping on the radio. But anyways,
here too.
We went to the farm we thought was the driest. Wasn't the driest. Had to move, which they're within a couple miles of each other. But so a bunch of messing around. But we are rolling. Got about 75 acres cut. Gonna try and get as many as we can today. Grain elevator is open until 6. So we have 7 trucks here. So they close at 6. We should be able to harvest till about 10, which is about what we went to last night. So we should get 250 to 300 acres, which is half the acres up here. There's probably a few of you that will ask or wonder, we have this grain system at home, why are you hauling the beans straight to the grain elevator? Well, prior to us expanding the grain system at home, we didn't have room to store the crop from this farm. Plus it's 45 or 50 miles from here back to the home farm, and it's 6 miles to the grain elevator. So we make marketing decisions throughout the year and sell ahead on some of the crop, estimate crop size and whatnot. It just makes more logistical sense to go 6 miles to the elevator versus 45, 50 miles home. We would just get so much more done in a day by getting our trucks back within a half hour, 45 minutes versus 3 hours per load. Dumping again.
Yeah.
The rows are long, the beans are pretty good. So we have kept the grain cart very busy today.
I will call them, see what
And for those of you anxiously waiting at
We only got
home,
about a half an hour of cutting
no,
left.
we don't have the machine sync set up yet. We are working through some technical difficulties. There is a error message that we're getting saying that our MTG, which is basically our cell phone modem, that is going to do the communicating between the two machines here. It's saying that mine and this combine is not connected. So we are working through that, trying to see what the issue is, and then hopefully in the next day or two we get that resolved and can actually try out the machine sync functionality. This would be our page for machine sync if it was working and didn't say that there was an error, but this is where you could nudge the grain cart left, right, forward, back, and then control the speed of the grain cart with your hydro handle here. Well, I figured out what the problem is with the machine sync. When he turns it off in his tractor, it also turns it off in the combine. In the past, and even now, we run, well, the grain cart guy will run just regular auto steer, the same thing we're running for the combines. And he'll get close, center himself, and then he tracks right alongside of us. For anybody that may have a S700 series combine, if you put your combine in transport mode going down the road, it will actually idle the engine back to whatever RPM it thinks it needs. So you save a lot of fuel. We figured we saved at least 20 gallons per machine driving that 45 miles by putting it in transport mode. But really, now I can explain it a little better that I'm not driving. If you do have one of these combines, do put it in transport mode when you're going down the road, because it does idle the engine back. If you're on flat ground, you can be going full speed, 23, 24 mile an hour, and it'll run 1500 RPMs versus running wide open. And for long runs, like we just did, going 40 miles plus, it really does save a lot of fuel. It's going to be just a little bit of an earlier night tonight. We grain elevator closed at 6, and we are coming up on, I think we got one more truck to fill, and then we'll have to shut it down. Hoping to get this stuff finished up tomorrow, move back to the farm that we started on yesterday. If you remember back in planting season, these two farms are the ones we planted 1,100 acres of soybeans in 2 days. We won't quite get that much harvested. We're not too far off, but we won't quite get that whole 1,100 acres done in 2 days. It will take us about 3.5 or 4 days. These two farms are our biggest concentrations of land in one spot. When we get back towards the home farm, it's a lot of 30, 40 acre fields or smaller. So our productivity this is the highest it'll be all season, but that's just the variability in the types of fields around us. Doing a little night cutting again. Also wanted to just touch on the advancements in the technology that we have, and I'll turn the light on so you can actually see. And also try not to overfill the grain cart. Alright, some of the advancements in technology. We had some of this stuff last year, some of it we didn't. What we didn't have last year was the same size heads, and that makes a huge difference. I had a 40-foot last year, Dad had a 35. And while it might not seem like a big difference, it is. Having the same size head allows us to set up the exact same guidance lines. We can leapfrog across the field, skip passes, leave a round for the other guy to get, and we never have a strip. We always come out taking exact head widths. So that's a huge increase in efficiency. A little bit of the mapping technology. So we got that, which I don't know why it lists the whole serial number, but we'll figure that out. So he's over there, shows him picking this little strip here. Grain cart's going up to the field to dump. If we kick this off and page over, have my grain tank, his grain tank, the grain cart can see the same thing, and then we have our shared totals here. So we both can see what the other person has picked. We can see how many acres are remaining in the field. Just a ton of cool stuff that makes it ultimately more efficient at the end of every day. Well, that's gonna do it for today. We got right at 250 acres today, so half the acres up here. Should get finished up tomorrow and move back a little closer to home and hopefully get finished up there. So thank you guys for watching this one. Hope you're enjoying the harvest videos, and we'll keep them coming.